Hey, I'm here at GTCO Bank Food and Drink Festival here in Lagos, Nigeria. I am excited to be here. It's my first time being in Africa. I'm super excited because about 4 years ago, my twin sister did a DNA test. And I come to find out, I'm about 60% Nigerian. I'm doing a MasterClass on American-style barbecue brisket. So I'm going to be doing giving topics and tips and tricks on how to cook brisket. Now, brisket is probably one of the roughest cuts that you can get off the cow, but once you put some low and slow and break down those collagens and tissues, it's a prized, celebrated piece of meat where I'm from. And the same way over here. Once you eat that brisket, when it's soft and tender and moist, it's nothing better, man. What I'm doing is I'm getting this pit that the kind folks of the bank, they got this pit built for me. This is a pit big enough to do the briskets that I need to do. So right now I'm getting it up to temperature. And once I get up to temperature, then I'm gonna have my brisket seasoned and I'm gonna put them on the pit. Now it's gonna take about 8 to 10 hours to cook these briskets, but that's what it takes to cook great barbecue. And what I'm gonna do is once these briskets get the bark, which is the exterior that I want, the color that I want, we're gonna wrap them up in a full butcher paper combination, and then we're gonna put them in the auto sham and just let them cruise for the rest of the night. So we're gonna run these as long as I can on this pit here, and then we'll be able to transfer them over to the oven and at the wrap stage, and then we'll just take them out at the end, and then we'll let them rest for 3 or 4 hours in a Cambro or a cooler. And then we'll get ready for our class tomorrow.
All right. This is the energy we need. Thank you so much for weathering the rain and staying with us. My name is Hawa Mukan. I am your hostess with the mostest for this amazing masterclass with Moe Cason. Yes, I know you people have been saying Moe Cason, but it's Cason, do you get? So Moe Cason is a barbecue master in the US of A. And I know we all know about barbecue. We all know small chops. We know no chicken and suya. But there's a different way that it's done in the South of America, and he's going to teach us exactly how. It's about heat. It's about technique. It's about the tools that they use. And, of course, that thing that they use, this saucing, peppering, the seasoning, it's all very necessary. So without further ado, let me introduce Moe Cason for the last GT Masterclass food and drink for the evening.
Hey,
yeah!
What's up, everybody?
Energy.
Yeah. Hey, first of all, it's a blessing to be here in Lagos, Nigeria. My first time in Africa. Just to give you a little background, my twin sister did a DNA test about 4 years ago, and I found out that I'm 60% Nigerian. Yeah, what's up? So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about brisket. Now, this is something that I love to cook. It is a American tradition that has been going on for years, and so I'm going to give you some tips and some tricks on how to cook great brisket here in Lagos. All right?
And in between, I'll be interrupting you to ask a couple questions just
no problem.
To tone it down.
I'm here. Any questions you guys got to ask me. I've done it all. I've cooked all over the country. I've cooked high and low, west and east, north and south. So just let me know.
All right. So, Chef, what exactly is brisket? I mean, we all know parts of meat, but can you break down exactly what part the brisket is and what animal?
Brisket, this chunk of meat here is the actual chest muscle of the cow. And they use that to get up off the ground. So it's a really tough cut. Now, back in the day, people back at home didn't do a low and slow. They just ground it up as hamburger because it's the toughest cut on the whole cow. But we got to thank Texas, because Texas was the one who took this brisket and made low and slow. And what you do is you break down the tissues and the collagens in this to make it soft. And now it's a celebrated piece of brisket and piece of meat that is celebrated all over the country. So the first thing is finding the best piece of meat you can find. So when I'm sourcing brisket, I'm sourcing high quality meat. These happen to be Wagyu. So
wait, what is that? One more time. It happens to be what kind of meat?
Wagyu.
Wagyu?
So
okay.
Beef in the country and where I'm from is graded in certain scale. There's select, choice, prime, prime,
prime,
Wagyu, and Kobe.
Wagyu and Kobe.
So this is the best you can get.
All right.
Okay? So when it comes to beef or any protein, period, you want to use the best that you can. Because what happens is when you have a piece of meat that has a lot of marbling, it's going to be juicier. It's going to have a lot more flavor. Because what is fat? Fat's flavor.
Did you say marbling?
Marbling.
What is that? What is marbling
is
meat?
You'll see striations of marbling.
Okay, fat. Little fat deposits.
Fat, streaks of fat.
Okay.
So as the brisket's cooking, it's going to give its flavor to the tissue.
Okay, cool. We call tozo, we call fat tozo.
Tozo? All right.
Tozo.
Tozo.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Tozo.
So, normally when I'm cooking brisket, I'm cooking big briskets because I'm a competition guy.
Okay.
So I do barbecue competitions all over the country. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at briskets that are like 18 to 20 pounds. I don't know what that is.
How many pounds is this? No, it's all the same.
Celsius, I don't know. But looking at it, it looks like about a 9-pound or 8-pound brisket.
That's like a baby.
It's just what it is.
All right, let's go.
I'm looking for briskets that are thick because in the environment that I cook in, I'm turning in brisket slices that are that tall, about 2.5 inches. Those judges want something that's familiar to them.
Okay.
So these judges are eating brisket that are tall, nice, thick slices. So, but here, these came from South Africa, and they're beautiful, but they're not as heavy.
Okay.
But that's the Wagyu species cow. Wagyu cow do not have big briskets. They have wide, thin briskets. Where I cook briskets that are a mix between Wagyu and Angus.
You know, what would be good to know is what kind of cows we have in Nigeria. Do we have Wagyu or
I'm sure you guys do.
Or, you know,
you don't?
No,
okay.
We ain't got that. Anyways, let's keep it moving.
All right. So, I suggest that I'm going to give you some tips because even if you don't have the best quality meat, you can still make great brisket. Okay? So first thing I do, the brisket's in a cryovac. That's the plastic shrink wrap that it's in.
Okay.
Now, what I do is I actually will go to the butcher and ask what the kill date is. The kill date is when this brisket was taken off the animal.
Okay.
And then I'll add another 30 days, and I put my brisket in the refrigerator.
What is the significance of the kill date? Why is it so important to know the kill date?
Because you want to know exactly when this was harvested.
Okay.
If you're going to wet age it.
Okay.
So that plastic cryovac that this was in, that's a cryovac, and you can do wet aging in it.
Okay.
Meaning that the reason why you want to wet age it is that being that this is Wagyu, it's going to be an awesome piece of meat. But if this was in like a choice or select, you want to age it. You want to add some more days to it in order for it to break down. And what you're doing is you're controlling the brisket before it goes bad.
Okay.
Now, I've had instances where I've been at cook-offs where I age the brisket, and I take it to a cook-off, and I open it up, and the smell is horrid.
Oh, so it can go
but
off.
It
meat
breaks
can
it
go
down.
off.
So see how tender that is?
It's fresh.
You know, it's
nice
very
and fresh.
tender. Yeah. So you want to have something that you can age, and I'll age a brisket if it's not a Wagyu or Kobe, another 30 to 40 days in the refrigerator.
Okay.
But you got to keep it in a cold refrigerator, like, I don't know what it is in Celsius, but 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's probably 0 in Celsius.
Okay.
So you want to make sure you keep it in there for like another 30 days. So I go to the butcher. It tells me the kill day. I'll take a Sharpie pen and write on the package. I'll write 30 days or 40 days after that.
Okay.
And I'll take this and I'll age it. And then once I do that, I put it in the freezer. Now I know it's good to go.
Okay.
So if I bring out the freezer, it's already aged and ready to go.
Okay.
So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at briskets that are thick. This doesn't have a very big. This is the flat end of the brisket, and this is the point. There's two sections that make a full brisket.
Okay.
A point and a flat. This is basically a flat. Even though it has the point attached, it's very small. Normally I'm cooking briskets this big and that thick, and it'll have a huge point. Now, if you guys heard of Kansas City burnt ends, have you heard that? That's the cubes of goodness. That only comes from the point.
Right.
Okay, this doesn't have very big of a point. So
and the point has the fatty bits.
It has more fatty, more marbling, more flavor.
Okay. Okay.
So, but once you have decided on the brisket that you want, the first thing you want to do is you want to trim it up. Now, before I get started, there's a book GTO Bank has printed off. It's a PowerPoint.
Oh, yeah.
You hit up the guys here at GTO, and they'll able
You got
to
it.
give
You got it.
an email. They're able to give you an email on the PowerPoint. It's like 20 pages of brisket. Recipes, mops, spritzes, how to cook brisket. So I suggest you guys go and hit up GTO, and they'll give you all the information you need. So, once I find the brisket that I want, now I'm going to start doing my prep process. So, what you want to do is this is what you call the meat end, and this is the fat end. Even though this is cleaned up pretty good, a lot of briskets that I buy will have a huge fat cap on the bottom side there. Don't worry about that. This is your meat side. That's what you want to worry about. It's pretty cleaned up pretty good, but if you got big patches of fat, you want to come in with your knife and you want to kind of trim that out. Because what happens is, if you put seasoning on fat, that fat will render out and it doesn't attach to the meat.
Please, one more time for those in the back. He's talking about seasoning the meat properly. Please listen. Okay, say it again.
So,
when
you are seasoning your meat,
seasoning the meat,
ahead of time, you want to trim the excess fat.
Trim the fat.
On the meat side.
On the meat side.
Because what's happening is if you put rub on the fat cap, that's just going to slough off.
If you put seasoning on the fat, there's no point. It's just going to slide off. So do what the chef says.
Exactly.
Right, cool.
So now if you see here, you can see there's a grain that runs on this brisket.
Yeah,
Every brisket has a certain grain how it's cut off the carcass.
It's going down.
You always want to cut against the grain.
Against the grain.
That's going to give you your most tender slice. So what I do is I'll come with my knife and I'll just slice it right here. By doing that, I know that once I develop this beautiful bark, which is the crust that develops over a long process of cooking, that is always there. So when it's done, I can take this brisket out and slice it against the grain. Because once you develop that beautiful bark, if you're not used to cooking brisket, you're going to be scraping trying to find the grain. Okay? That's a great competition trick. See that? Okay.
So for those in the back, you got to find the grain and go against the grain. And you can only tell the grain usually when the meat is raw.
Exactly.
Because after you cook the meat, you can't see the way the seams are going. So make sure you make a little cut in the corner against the grain so you know what you're doing. All right.
So the brisket that you guys are going to try today is going to have a beautiful bark on the outside. And you're not going to see that grain unless you know where it's at. Okay? So the next thing I do is I take a marinade. This is called Clods. You can buy it on Amazon. This is a brisket marinade from Texas. You don't have to do that because you guys got fantastic seasonings over here.
Big Mo, where can we find this? Is this on your website?
No, this is on Amazon.
Okay.
So it's called Clods. It's a brisket marinade. It's dedicated to like brisket. So you just come in here and you wipe it down. And what this does, this adds a lot of flavor to the brisket. Now, you can pour it in a bag and let it soak, but generally I just wipe it down, and it's going to give you great flavor. It's going to give you that great Texas-style flavor.
All right.
Okay? The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to let this sit for a few hours. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some oil. Oil is a binder. This allows the rub to attach nicely to the meat.
Okay.
So I come and spray down here with oil. Now, a lot of guys will use mustard. You can use a lot of different things as a binder. I like to use oil. Now, I'm going to use a beef rub, beef rub, which is really good for brisket.
Okay, but we can find this on your website, right? Your beef rub?
Yeah. So it's just a really nice rub. It's basically salt, pepper, and garlic. I think that is just what shines when it comes to brisket. You can use any rub you want to use, any seasoning you want to use. But I think for me, what showcases brisket well is just salt, pepper, and garlic. Because what I want you to do is when you taste my brisket, you want to taste the beef and then the simple flavors of salt, pepper, and garlic.
Makes sense. So it's like a little bit of a thick layer of coating. It's not like a thin layer.
Because this is a big cut of meat.
So you have to let it sink in.
Well, the thing about it is it's such a big piece of meat that you need to have that flavor. You need to have that flavor shine through at the end of the cook. Okay. So this is Texas brisket rub.
Oh, we got another rub. All right.
This will give you the big crusty bark on the exterior.
And we can find this on your website as well. All right.
Okay. So we got some.
It's not just suya pepper, ladies and gentlemen. You got to get a little creative with the garlic and the salt and the.
Yes.
You know.
So right now, it's ready to go in the pit.
Okay.
Now, the tip I want to give you guys is do not season. If you're going to do a dry rub, don't season the night before. Because the main component in here is what? Salt.
Right.
So what happens is if you take this rub here and you put it in a bag and put it in the refrigerator, when you come back in the morning, what you're going to have? You're going to have a lot of water in the bottom of the bag. Well, that's water, valuable water that needs to be inside the meat, not in the bottom of the bag. So you season an hour before you put on the pit. So now...
Wait, one more time. Sorry. For those in the back who might have joined. When do you season your meat, ladies and gentlemen?
I like to season my meat an hour before putting it on the pit.
All right.
Okay?
1 hour.
So, she's seasoned now. Now, I'm going to come over here. Now, this is what it's called an offset stick burner. This is what I'm accustomed to.
What is this? It's huge.
This, I know over here, typically it's more grill, hot and fast. But when you cook brisket, it's low and slow. Okay. You do not force it. It's going to take about 7, 8, 10 hours, depending on the size of the brisket.
Low and slow.
Low and slow.
Low and slow.
You put it on there, and then you maintain your fire throughout the cook. That's what you got to do.
Right.
Okay, this is not, because you can cook this in 4 hours. You can cook this in 4 hours, but it's going to be tough and chewy. That's not what you want. You want it to be tender, succulent, moist. And that takes time to break down the collagens.
All right. Oh, wow. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think pretty much the basis of this is that you can't cook this meat fast. You have to have patience. Even though we're out here in the rain, we're going to be very patient about cooking this meat so that we can all eat some of it when it's ready. But you have to be patient. You have to cook it slow, and you have to season it in time. And you have to get the right seasonings.
Yeah.
All right, Big Mo, what else you got for us?
Okay. Sorry for the rain, but that's Mother Nature. So what we're going to do is, normally when I wrap a brisket, you're going to need to wrap this brisket at a certain amount of time. If you're using an offset stick burner like this is, you're going to have to wrap it. So
what do you wrap it in? Just normal foil? What's this?
I don't wrap it completely in foil.
Okay.
Because what foil does, it seals it up nice. It stops the smoke process.
Okay.
It stops the smoke process, but you don't want to wrap it completely in foil. Because what that does is that steams the brisket and then you ruin the beautiful bark that you worked hard on. So what I do is I take the brisket and I set it on the foil, and then I'll take a piece of butcher paper.
Butcher paper.
Butcher paper breathes, allows moisture to pass through, but it's got tight pores.
Can I ask you a
question? So it allows you to still get the internal temperature done faster if you didn't wrap it at all.
Can I ask a question about an alternative to butcher paper in case there isn't any butcher paper? What's an alternative? Newspaper? Is that a little too ghetto?
I find butcher paper. You got it here. Everybody's got it. I mean, it's just
okay,
sometimes
so no
it's
alternative.
White,
okay.
But you don't want to use it with wax. Sometimes you'll see butcher paper with wax.
Dry
this
one.
is non-waxed.
Okay.
So you put your brisket in there and you wrap it up, kind of like this. For example.
Like a shawarma. Thank you very much.
So if you were to, when you get to about 170 degrees Fahrenheit, I don't know what that is in Celsius, that's when you want to wrap your brisket.
Okay.
Okay?
But there's nothing in there right now.
No, I just, as an example.
You're just
that
showing,
would be typically what you would find. You put your brisket in there and wrap it up real tight. It allows the moisture to pass through, And there you go.
So you put the butcher paper over
The
meat, and then you let the foil be the base.
Exactly.
All right. Cool. We got this.
All right. So the next thing is we got to work fast, unfortunately.
I know this rain wants to come and eat some meat too.
So unfortunately, I'm going to have to just speed the process up. This is finished brisket. But you can see here.
I got it. See, everybody's ready for that meat. Oh, man, I wish you could perceive the smell that I'm smelling right now. This is so good.
See that?
And it's juicy. It's retained all of its water. It's even all the way around. I might just steal that. I guess we all have to share this, huh?
We got a whole bunch. We got 8 briskets.
Okay. He has 8 briskets.
But you see where I sliced that brisket at? Now you know.
Okay. Wait. Really quick. So this is where you sliced across the grain so that we know where across the grain is. And now you're cutting across the grain. Okay. Cool. We get it. So what you can't see right now is the brisket that he has made is like super tender. It's falling off the bone. Can you smell it? You can smell it, can you? I know. Sorry, you guys. You guys are the faithfuls. Don't worry. You're going to get some of this brisket in the rain. But it is very tender, and it has maintained all of its moisture and its color, and it's pretty amazing. And it's coming around to you now. Thank you so much. This is for, your hard work of... No. It's coming. Oh, you want to talk? You want to ask questions? Okay, Big Mo, while you're getting that together, let me let them ask some questions because it seems like we want to know what's going on.
The oven he's using.
Yes.
We use charcoal. I can see wood there. Now, what's the difference? What's the advantage of wood over charcoal? I can see him using wood. I can't see any charcoal.
I know he would like to answer this question. All right, Big Mo. I know you're cutting up that meat, but we have a really good question here.
Yeah.
He's talking about the fact that we use wood versus charcoal, right?
Yes.
He says
the
you
thing
have
about it is
charcoal.
you want to use wood that is local to you. So I don't know what the hardwood is, but you want to use wood that you are accustomed to that you can get.
Okay, so use wood. Why is wood better than charcoal, Big Mo?
Well, charcoal is wood, but the wood will give you the depending on the flavor profile you want to get. Like when I cook at home, I cook pecan, I cook oak, white oak. So you use the woods that's going to give you that flavor.
Okay.
Lump is the same thing, but it's been converted into lump charcoal.
Okay, I think pretty much what he's saying is, yeah, you get it. Wood is the better, more nutritious version. Hey, look at you people. Eh? Anyone else have a question? Anyone else? Question or no, you're raising your hand for meat. You're raising your hand for meat. Okay, you got some more questions. All right. You want to ask a question? Go ahead.
Okay. What inspired you to be a pitmaster?
Hey, exactly. All right, Big Mo, the people in the crowd want to know what inspired you to start grilling food.
Well, for me, my grandma had 17 kids.
17 children, oh.
And so I was always around cooking. My grandma was an awesome cook. My mom was an awesome cook. So I've always been passionate about cooking ever since I was a little kid. So barbecue is one of the things I love to do, man. No problem, man. What you talking about?
There's some more. Put it in your little side pocket. I'm putting it in your back pocket. Because every time he adjusts his mic, he puts meat on his face. So.
Okay, I got some more meat over here, bro.
Got it. Thank you. Hey, you people are enjoying the meat, Abby. Look at you screaming. You people already got meat. I saw you. Did you get one? Okay. All right. For the people who answered questions, that they at least need some. So let me be the hostess with the mostest and serve some meat. You people better be saving my own meat in the corner.
Let's feed them.
Wow. I mean, this is like, Hold on, let me get my friend right here. Anyone else have some questions for Big Moe? Big Moe. I mean, don't forget, he's also on a lot of TV channels.
Yeah, I got
He does cooking competitions. He has his own website. He sells his own grills. I mean, this man is something else. All right, who's got a question? All right, Miss Lady, what you got?
What alternative seasoning can we use aside salt? Because there was no cubes, no form of seasoning and all of that.
Okay, so Big Moe, we have a cultural discrepancy going on right now. Hey, hi guys. We have a cultural discrepancy going on right here. In terms of the types of seasonings that are used. In Nigeria, we're used to Knorr, we're used to Maggi, we're used to, do you know those bouillon cubes?
Yes.
Bouillon cubes.
Yeah. That's a thing, but...
Is it possible to make your own rub from a mixture of these bouillon cubes?
You can.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
so you can use whatever you want to use. Just complement the beef.
Okay.
Do service to the beef.
Okay. Sis, use whatever you want to use, but complement the beef. And also, make sure that you season it well, you know? Yeah, not too much sun. Eh? Oh, Big Moe, what's your website, please?
It's Moe Cason, BBQ.com. MoeCason, BBQ.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you pay me 1K, I'll say it for you. Okay, www.moecason, MoeCason, BBQ.com. There we go. Look, all these grubbidos here in the rain, no, give them food. Don't worry, they're coming back. Do you have more questions? More questions. Sorry, we're coming. Do you want to hold my umbrella while I get your meat? So let me, give me, what do you want to ask? Is MoeCason. Rain, don't catch your phone. No, this one is drowning. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, man, you guys have been an amazing audience. Thank you so much for standing around. You people is not palliatives. Calm down. It's not palliatives. There's more. Don't beat yourselves. See what good meat will do to people. All right. Thank you so much for watching. The weather has not been too nice, but we thank our gods for bringing the rain. And, oh, girl, you stormed the stage for your meat. Come on, let me help you get it so you can get off stage. Oh, Lord, you people, they'll beat you for this meat this night, too. Got to move faster. All right. Here you go, miss. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you guys for joining. Make sure you catch GT.
Thank you guys for
GT
coming.
Bank Food and Drink. Thank you so much for coming and staying loyal. They're still bringing the meat. There's plenty meat to go around. And make sure you check Moe Cason on his website. Big Moe. Oh, man, I forgot it. It's because I'm hungry. I ain't got no meat. Oh, this is awesome. Grilling in the rain. Ooh, grilling in the rain. Ooh. Come on,
Okay. This is still the GT Co Food and Drink Festival. Under the sun or in the rain. It's food. It's united us. It's kept us against all odds because we are having a great time. And on that note, we're wrapping up. Okay. We're wrapping up for today. The grand finale. But please don't go anywhere. We're still going to have the fireworks. But for now, see you around. Thank you. Thank you to all the amazing tasters, people waiting under the rain to taste some of the meat. And of course, Big Moe, thank you. Can I hear somebody say thank you, GT?